All right, time for another Nerdy Virgin podcast. So, I had been getting these headaches, and I wanted to get an MRI. So I got the MRI, and the test came back, and it said everything is okay, except there's a possible pineal cyst. So this is a cyst in the pineal gland of the brain. A brain cyst, a cyst in the brain. And basically, I have to wait 3 months before getting another MRI so they can see if it's growing or not. And in the meantime, I get to freak out about it. So that's where we're at. That's what I'm dealing with right now. The first thought that comes to my head is because I'd stopped doing this podcast for a while. And am I a fair weather podcaster? Is that what's going on? Like, instead of doing it every week, I only do it when I'm freaking out and I need to find some way of expressing it. And then the fact that I define that as fair weather podcasting, as if I'm betraying the tens of people who've listened to it over the course of the last 5 years that I've done this thing off and on. I'm doing this as I'm walking through the neighborhood. I should be doing, I tried to buy like a nice microphone. I'm walking past a bird, like a parrot, I think. It's middle of the night, but there's this bird that's always squawking, 10 o'clock at night. I'm surprised the people in this neighborhood have not killed this bird, because every night that I walk past here, it's 10 o'clock at night. This bird will not shut up. Anyway, back to the cyst. Back to a pineal cyst, by the way. Apparently it's kind of common, and most of the time it doesn't cause any problems. People can go their whole lives, they don't even know they have it, until it blows up. At any rate, the 3 months of waiting to see what happens is freaking me out. So I am being thrust into dealing with my own mortality. And I always thought, worrying. I was always worrying about my health. I thought I was worrying enough about my health to not have to go through this. That's how I thought. I thought that's how anxiety worked. If I worried hard enough about something, it wouldn't happen and I would avoid it. Is that not how the universe works? I was talking about this with my boss, and I was freaking out, and she said, there's no need to worry. Nothing's happening. You don't worry until something happens. And then she asked, on some level, do you want this to happen? And I thought to myself, no, I don't. No. On no levels do I want this to happen. But then I thought to myself, Jesus, what if on some lower level I do want this to happen? Deep down. Because I've had that same thought too when other people are going through something like this. There's a part of me that's wondering, are they asking for it deep down unconsciously? Do they want this to happen? And I guess what I'd like to say right now to my unconscious is, knock that off. Stop it. I proceeded to spend all weekend Googling this. I don't know, I don't mean to brag, but at this point I might be able to do the surgery myself, reading everything. And the scary thing is that this is located in the center bottom of the brain. Very hard to get to. So the last thing they're going to want to do is any kind of surgery. So it's sort of a matter of, well, if it's not growing or doing anything crazy, just leave it alone. So, but watch it. So now this means I got to get I'm probably going to have to get MRIs on a regular basis now, which weirdly, I always wanted that, but not like this. I wanted to get them even though they were constantly coming up with a negative, a clean bill of health. I had to push for the MRI too. Doctor didn't want to give it to me. And by the way, the headaches, there's no correlation between the headaches and this. I could have had this when I was born. The headaches might be totally unrelated. The headaches were getting better. They still are getting better. They seem to be more related to whenever it would rain or there'd be a temperature change. So, I don't know if it's related or not. Apparently neither is science because there's a lot of debate over whether or not what the symptoms are. It's different for different people. So the thing that freaks me out is that they think it's a cyst, but there's some irregularities. And so I guess what happens is they got to decide, all right, well, if it's a cyst, then the regularities are probably X, Y, and Z, if it's a cyst. If not, then it could be something else, which is freaking me out. Unless it's both. Ugh. Has that ever happened? Both at the same time? Oh, great. By the way, as soon as I found this out, and when I was doing the reading, and it said that there was no correlation between diet and this thing, I totally, as bad as my diet was before, it got really bad. Because I thought, well, I'm going to enjoy myself. Who knows how much longer I've got. Like I keep reiterating, they say this is a probably benign, probably not going to do anything to me, probably live with it for the rest of my life. I'll tell you though, now that I know it's there, I don't like it. I'm trying to make friends with it. I've named it Jeff. I think I may bring Jeff on as a guest. I'm working my way up to that. But I think that I don't want to die. I want to keep going. I'm sending it out there to the universe. I don't want to die. I want to keep on going. I want to see if I can break my grandfather's record. Can I make it to 90? He got close. He was like 88 or 89. I want to get there. Yeah, I want to see if I can make it to 90. So we can't have this. Whatever this is. I love how there are some people who are like that. They have this attitude of, no, I'm not going to let this get me down. And then they don't. They don't let it get them down. And they do it. I feel like I'm the person who says, I'm not going to let this get me down. And then I immediately get hit by a bus. But maybe I've got to change that. Maybe the key is don't stand in the street. Possible. Now, the bus jumped the median. Nowhere near the street, actually. I was on the 3rd floor at the dentist's office and the bus hit me. Which reminds me, I need to go to the dentist. Well, I think what I need to do is I need to confront this and continue talking about it and do the whole not give up thing, right? Even though there may be no giving up. I mean, it may be totally fine. I don't know. Here's the thing. When I got the MRI, I thought I was going to ace it. I thought they were going to come back and say, you're neurotic, there's nothing wrong, this was a waste of everyone's time. This is what I get for being overconfident. You know what I mean? This is what I get from manifesting, for trying to manifest. Like, I feel like whenever the good things have happened to me, it hasn't been me actively manifesting. It's been me just being honest and being true to myself, telling the truth, doing what I want to do, not lying, not doing anything for an ulterior motive, just being true. Manifesting, I don't know. Other people, like I said, they really seem to manifest well. That's the other thing. The pineal gland apparently is that which connects the brain to the spiritual universe, which explains why I haven't heard God in who knows how long. That was meant to be a joke. Unless it's not. Now here's the other conundrum. Knowing this, and knowing I have high cholesterol, and knowing I'm full, I already had a full meal, I'm debating whether or not to go to 7-Eleven and get a Pop-Tart. That can't help anything, can it? It would make me happy. I could manifest some joy, but it would be a fleeting joy. I think I'm going to go do it. I am going to live a little, just in case this is, but no, we're going to manifest that it's going to be all right. I'm praying it's going to be all right. Too late to have a relationship with God? Throwing that out there. Should I get bar mitzvahed? Maybe I should get bar mitzvahed. I never got bar mitzvahed. Maybe now's a good time. I need to keep talking. See, this is what happens when there's no one else on the podcast. I got to keep going. Sounding like I'm winded. But here's the thing though. I want to make sure that I'm only doing exactly what I want to do and only saying exactly what I want to say. So when I've been trying to write other things, and now everything that I've been working on feels empty. So now I'm thinking I need to work on something else. And I always tend to go back to, I always like to write something that's sci-fi or fantasy-ish. And now the only stuff that makes sense to me is pointing out the horrors of life and attempting to find a humorous way of looking at it. So we might need to go in that direction. We might need to do that. I think I need to write about real life. I don't know, it feels more satisfying to me right now than, doing a parody of the Power Rangers. So we'll see what that takes me. But the key message here, what I'm trying to do is make sure that I am only doing what I want to do and getting rid of all the crap. That seems like the most logical thing to do, and it's much less stressful. The other discovery I made is when I think back, I thought that I was going to have more regrets than I did. I'm already talking like I'm dead already. But I mean, for instance, I'm single. I haven't really put any energy into being in a relationship, and I do feel intense loneliness, but at the same time, I don't regret it. I just genuinely, I want to focus on the stand-up and the writing. And I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to put the energy into a relationship. Will I come to regret that later? We'll find out. Film at 11. That's a quote from, what is that from? That's from Kentucky Fried Movie. That's the other weird thing too. Lately, like when I was in my 20s, trying to write screenplays, I feel like I was writing things that now when I try to write the same thing now, the same kind of thing, which is more, I don't know, more slapsticky, it just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel right. Like I said, I think I gotta go in a different direction. Go more towards the real. You know what it is? I know, I'll tell you what it is. I want to come away from a writing session, if I'm going to write a novel or a play or something like that, I want to come away feeling satisfied. And I didn't come away feeling satisfied from anything I did today. And my instinct is telling me that it's got to be, I got to write about real life. I don't want to, but I got to. I think maybe deep down I do want to. See, which leads me back to what do I really want? What do I really want? It feels tremendously satisfying to tell the truth about how I feel about stuff. That's really what feels good to me. All right, that's enough of this. I'm probably going to go to 7-Eleven and make a bad decision right now. So, probably not helping the health, but at the same time, you know, finding that balance between that and wanting to live. There's wanting to live, and then there's wanting to live. And doing the dance between the two of those right now. All right. Well, I'll keep you updated.